Welcome to the Relationship by Design, the real deal. I'm Zach, this is Sierra, and we're really excited to lead you through the discovery of what a relationship is and then exploration. We believe it can change the world and transform lives. We've been living in a creative relationship longer than you might think, though. I've been with Sierra for 10 years and married for 16. And
Opposite. We've been married for 10. We've been together for 16.
And we met at band camp. We're high school sweethearts. I actually was about 16 and you were 15 when we originally met.
Mm-hmm. And now we've got two kids. We've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. And it was actually through their birth experiences where we really started to kind of get into the learning and really starting to like the nature and discovering what it is about relationships. And that's because we had our babies prematurely. And both experiences were very different in terms of our relationship. One was a little bit more turbulent than the other, and we were really curious of why that was. And so
it just seemed that one relationship worked and one didn't, given these two similar experiences.
Right. And so since then, we've been really kind of diving into the discovery and
nature and design of what a relationship is.
Yeah, so we started chatting with Sandy and Lon, who created this workshop, and now we're here leading it for you this weekend. So now let's just ask them,
Let's get right into it.
Yeah,
so we're going to actually ask you to introduce yourselves now. So reading the flip chart here, we're going to ask you guys to come up to the front of the room, and we want you to read out loud and tell us your name, where you live, a relationship you're currently in, what being in a relationship means to me, and what I want to explore here. So we're going to ask you, we're going to move to the back of the room, and we're going to ask whoever wants to come up front, do so. Okay. And you have any questions about that? Great, thank you.
Okay, so now let's get to the purpose of the workshop. Why are we here this weekend?
For you to rediscover and revitalize your inherent capacity for being related, such that issues that you've been dealing with, trying to fix, or just plain tolerating dissolve, disappear, simply in being in relationship.
So let's go back for a second.
Sure.
This is the purpose of the workshop. It is not a promise.
For you to rediscover and revitalize your inherent capacity.
So that suggests that
It's inherent, it's natural. There's nothing new to be learned or created from this. Mm-hmm. For being related such that the issues that you've been dealing with, fixing, and just tolerating and putting up with can disappear completely, dissolve, simply by being in that inherent capacity of relationship.
Yeah.
Again, that's just a purpose.
That's the purpose of
There's
the
no
workshop.
promise around that.
Is there any questions though, or
concerns?
About it? Okay.
Great.
So we want to know what you're interested in accomplishing this weekend. So take out your pens, your papers that you brought. If anybody doesn't have a pen or paper, we have some in the back. And we want you to write down your intended outcomes, 2 or 3 of them. So we'll give you a couple minutes.
And try to keep it to 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
this is something that you're going to keep with you throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Awesome.
Would anybody like to share what they wrote down?
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. So let's share with them our intention.
Yeah, so our intended outcome of the workshop.
Yep.
Okay. Zach, do you want to read it?
So you, sure, I'll read it. You will have gained insight into the nature and design of relationships, providing you with a direct access to the experience of fulfilling relationship.
Yeah, we intend that everything that you shared with us will be fulfilled or accomplished inside of our outcome for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you guys might show up here with something that you want to get out of it, or you're waiting for that thing to show up. And just to be very clear, that intention that we just shared, we believe can be completely fulfilled within that intention.
You mean their intention?
Yeah, within your intention, exactly.
Their intention.
It's very important that. Are we clear on that?
Within ours.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So now we can we have this intended outcome based on a few assertions that we've made about the workshop.
Sure.
So
you're gonna go through some ups and downs. You know, that is to say, there'll be times where you kind of just feel a little worked up, and
or maybe you're like, oh my god,
or that aha moment. You'll also hear things, and you'll go through irreversible and ineradicable work. There's no escaping this. Have you ever been in a situation where you hear something, you just can't unhear it? That will occur through this weekend.
Yeah, and we really want you to have realistic expectations around this. So the other thing is that you'll hear a lot this weekend, and you'll be confronted with the opportunity to make a difference in the world of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you might hear something and you might really feel related to what you hear, but you don't have the obligation to make a difference in that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will confront that opportunity to make the difference, but you can or you don't need to.
Just a story we have, guys, and about how the weekend will go.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So now that we kind of know, you guys a little bit better, and you know who we are, and you know where we're headed this weekend, let's just get familiar with where we're at. So the bathrooms, first the bathrooms are over there. And then we intend to be done by 6 p.m. every night,
Mm-hmm.
and start at 9 sharp in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
In the bathrooms, excuse me, the breaks, we will have one in the morning, and then we'll have another one after lunch, and then another one right before we break for the evening. There's water and coffee in the back, so feel free to help yourselves. We will give you enough time for lunch, so you'll have enough time to take care of what you need to. And then keep your phones on silent. If you do need to have them on for emergencies, we understand, so just keep them on vibrate. And if you want to take pictures, just ask and get permission first. We ask that you do that.
And sometimes here at the Bellagio, there are people that do come through to access the pool. So we ask to be patient about that this weekend as well. Okay, so we are about to begin the workshop.
So let's go over the rules, though, so we know how to play.
So we're going to ask you guys to play by a set of rules for this workshop to operate the way we intend it to.
You want to read them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one is lean in, engage, and complete all the workshop assignments. There's going to be a really cool opportunity to complete some really powerful assignments, and it's going to be, it's going to help, I think, produce the intended outcomes if you accomplish those assignments that we give you. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, they're fun. They're not like it's not like homework. They're more like games. They're fun. They're fun assignments. And if you
they show up either during lunch or in between the days.
Yeah.
Second is honor yourself and others, including being on time for all the workshop sessions. Have integrity about showing up on time. It's
Yeah, just show up on time.
Treat what anyone says here as confidential. There needs to be a sense of safety to share for people to feel that they can share wholly. They have to feel like they're in a safe environment.
Yeah, so we just ask that if you do hear something that you do feel needs to be repeated, that you detach everybody's names from whatever it is, and just keep a sense of confidentiality here.
Yeah, very important. And refrain from any retribution.
No, let's read the whole thing. Refrain from any retribution
regarding what anyone shares in the workshop. And I think, Sarah, you had a great example about this.
Oh, so if you're, if Zach was to say something about me this weekend or share, because you'll hear plenty of stories about us this weekend. So if he was to share something that I didn't know about, I could, I wouldn't be like, oh, he shouldn't have shared that. He's gonna get it later.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna pay. So we're gonna refrain from doing that.
Are we clear on these rules?
Okay, so
Great.
No, we need to ask people directly.
Do you accept?
So, do you accept these rules? If you accept these rules, please raise your hand so we know you're ready to play. Okay, we're going to actually hand out now the purpose and the intended outcome and the set of rules so we know that we're all playing well this weekend in all of these. So, you have these to refer back to. Okay,
Awesome.
now we're really ready since we
Now
have the
we're
rules.
really ready to start the workshop. Okay. So how profound is it to have the 5 secrets, the 7 habits, or the 12 steps for a successful relationship? And we don't even know what a relationship is. This.
No, let's like look at that for a second.
Yeah.
Like look at that. Like you think about how many books are written, like how many things are out there of like how can I make my relationship successful? And do we know what it is? I mean, what is a relationship?
The fact is we don't know what it is, and we assume that you don't know either.
So together we're going to disclose the anatomy of a relationship. And what?
If you get nothing else from this weekend, you will simply walk away knowing what a relationship is and what you're actually dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Right?
So, for that to work, there has to be a sense of detaching from what you have heard, and you have to really audit against your past experiences and check everything that you've that's already occurred for you in a relationship based off of what you know about it.
Right. We have seen, and it's really clear how to play the game well. You have to be willing to not just let go of your attachment, but to continually check what it is here against your experience. Not against what you know about relationship. So
on the break, do you want to go through that at all?
Go for it.
On the break, so consider this. Are you willing to let go of your attachment? For a full 2 days. You're coming into here with a lot of previous experiences, and are you willing to let go of those? Are you willing to check what this conversation reveals against your own experience in relationship, not against what you know or what you've learned or what others have told you? And is everyone really willing to do that?
Okay, so we're going to take a 15-minute break and then bring back with you your object when you return. So it's 10:35 now, so come back at 10:50.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So really, let's get started. What is a relationship? So let's write these down. What is a relationship? What do you think it is?
Okay.
Great. If you look what's on the flip chart, you'll see that there's a lot of different ideas about relationship, but not what a relationship is.
Yeah, you're seeing synonyms, metaphors, characteristics. There's a lot of reasons for being in a relationship, but nothing on here says what it is.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you.
Nothing says what it is. Now we're going to let you discover it on your own. That way it's yours. Yeah. And
You know what would be useful? Why don't we take it a different angle?
Okay.
Where is your relationship?
Since
Where
you
is
don't
it?
know what it is,
Doesn't seem that we're able to kind of get that. Where is your
where is
relationship?
it? Where does it exist?
Is it in your head, your heart? Is it between two people? Awesome. Seen a lot. Thanks. There's a lot of ideas on the chart there.
We're not writing these down.
Oh, we're not. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
You're right. It's in language.
It's in language.
It's a function of what's being said. It's not what you say. It shows up when it's said to be.
Everything that we just wrote down previously, and when we try to answer the question where it always shows up when it's said to be.
It's in your heart.
Yet it never explains what it actually is or where it is.
It's in your head. It's in your heart.
There's a phenomenon here. Thank you. Of a said to be, and it's only generated when it is spoken in language. This does not say what a relationship is, where, but merely what kind of thing it is.
Yeah. And it's a function of what's being said in language. Think of, a university. A university is...
It's a said to be.
Well, it's a building with bricks, chairs, desks, whiteboards, computers. Well, it is a university. It could be Google. It could be
a brewery.
I don't know what brewery has desks and chairs, but it could. But what the point is that is what is said to be.
Simply put, it's in language. Is there anybody who needs to go further into this? If you notice, we're sneaking up on something. If your relationship exists in language, maybe, just maybe, there's something you have to say. There's something you can say about it. And we're going to ask you to.
So, take out your objects that you brought to represent your relationship. And we want you to tell us about your object. Great. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
What did you see?
Great.
Thank you for sharing. Right. The characteristics are not in the object, nor are they in your relationship.
They're in your opinion.
They're in your opinion. They're in your view of your relationship.
They're in what you are saying it to be. That is what is showing up every time.
Yeah, it's the same as thinking of the university. It's, you could glue together macaroni pieces and call it art because I said it to be. That was the symbol of my art. So the object is a symbol of your relationship only because you say so. It doesn't have those qualities. It doesn't. Neither does your relationship.
Neither does your relationship.
It doesn't have those things you said about it.
Your relationship seems to exist in a said to be. And we're going to explore that.